Greetings people, it's Jared here, Wolfgang1, back to do another review. Right, so following on from a drag strips review, this is part 2 of the Stunticons, taking a closer look at them, and we're going to move on with another limb. This week is the review for Generation 1 Breakdown. Okay, so here's Breakdown in his alt mode. He transforms into what Sideswipe and Red Alert does. He turns into a Lamborghini Countach. Obviously smaller than the other guys, which again made playing with these things a little bit difficult when you were a kid, and you know, because the sense of scale was way off. But when has the Transformers brand ever been bothered about scale, ladies and gentlemen? The other thing to take into consideration is what's supposed to count as the windscreen here has got the hinge section that will fold his bonnet over the back of him, and that. So as a result, the windscreen's all broken up, which looks a little bit weird and awkward as well. Let's have a look at some of the things that Breakdown came with. He would have come with one double barrel thing for his attack mode, which again, you know my thoughts on attack modes. This is not the worst looking one, but it's still shit. And he came with a small handheld weapon, again cast in the same blue plastic as the other piece. As I mentioned in drag strips review, I don't know if the carded figures ever came with these, but there's a product sheet and a tech spec decoder as well. I don't have the instruction booklet, but then again, you wouldn't need one. Vodka. So, Breakdown. Yeah, characterized as a bit of a. Actually, no, I might be getting him wrong with Dead End. Actually, do you know what? I'm not going to bother about the characterization. I never bothered with that anyway. I like this one a lot more than drag strip because there's a lot more sculpted detail in the alt mode, even though it's all done in block plastic. It would have been nice if the Toy Hacks rep labels had done some rear work for these vehicles, like some brake lights or something like that, but it didn't happen. Most of the stickers for this one are all on the robot mode, which is on the underside of the car. Let's give him his attack mode. Let's just get that shit done. There we are. You just stick that in the back like you did the other one. And again, not brilliant because of this massive gap just here, but somehow works better than drag strips. And what I forgot to show on drag strips one is these guns can like sort of spin around and go to the sides and like sort of, I don't know why you would ever use these as a potential play option, but the option is there should you wish to indulge yourself. In fact, I've just noticed there's also a lovely little stress mark in the plastic just there, so I need to be careful with that. Yeah, let's get rid of this other shit that I've got on here. So yeah, Breakdown. He's got a totally different transformation to drag strip as well, which is nice. And as a result, I think he ends up as possibly the tallest team member of the limbs. So a little bit of sculpted detail just there. This front section is a sticker just here, and I think all this black on here is paint decal. And the wheels on this, again, plastic. I mean, by this stage, they'd left rubber tyres long behind, unless you had like a special version of Ultra Magnus or Optimus Prime. Actually, Ratgar had rubber tyres, but in terms of like little figures like this, there's no chance. It's just going to be plastic all the way. Yeah, again, not really a massive amount to say about it because the figure's so small as well. I mean, it rolls very nicely, as I expect. As I expect these things to do. Despite the fact of his age, there's not really a lot to say about the alt mode. The thing about the Stunticons and like the other special team members is their gimmick is, not really their alt mode or the robot mode. It's basically their final combined form. So the alt mode is always possibly the thing that you could say the least about in terms of any of them. So we might as well just get this guy transformed for what it is. I mean, I quite like him. I've always thought that my breakdown was sun damaged, but I think actually he's not supposed to be cast in white plastic. I think it's supposed to be an off white, like a bone white sort of color, because every breakdown I've ever seen was this sort of strange off white color. I've never seen one that's pristine. So there we are. So to transform this guy, we're going to start by pulling sideways the back of the vehicle, just like this, and folding them all the way around to the back. That doesn't move in or anything like that. This front section of the bonnet is going to come up like this and then fold round like this. and then you stand the fucker up, and then position his arms a little bit. And there we have it. Whoa, what a transformation that was, ladies and gentlemen. I'm glad that you're still watching this, really. We can give him his little weapon in his hand, where he can actually hold it in his hand as opposed to breakdown, opposed to drag strip, really. And his arms go up about that far because of the backpack that gets in the way. That's about as much articulation as you've got. There is a little bit of paint chipping on the face, which gives him a really, really big nose. Well, actually, I think that's supposed to be red as well, and his eyes are supposed to go all the way around. And he's got a tiny little nose underneath it. I don't know if you can see that or not. Yeah, not the best head sculpting in the world. Tiny little mouth, tiny little nose, and massive eye visor. But yeah, that's breakdown. As I said, I prefer him over drag strip. This guy's got a little bit of die-cast metal on his chest. And thank God for Toy Hacks, or as I like to call them, repro labels, because the new stickers that I've put on this guy actually make him look 10 times better than he has any right to be. So, yeah. So that was part 2, ladies and gentlemen, of my Stunticons review. I mean, you know, I could try and sit here and talk about this for 18 minutes, but what would be the point? It's, you know, fundamentally a piece of shit. But, you know, for what it is, I like it. It's harmless enough, and a damn sight better than the previous last week's offering. So, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a breakdown. Join me next week where I will be taking a look at, I think I'm going to do Wild Rider next. So be sure to check out that. Until we see each other again, thank you for watching this and take care.